There absolutely needs to be more checks in place. There's no way that anyone that is in this country illegally should be able to in any way register themselves to vote.
The calls for an investigation into the state's voter registration system are growing. It comes as Republicans demand answers to how Ian Roberts, the former superintendent with ties to Baltimore, who was in the country illegally, was able to register to vote.
Fox 45's Jessica Babb is live pressing for answers. Jessica.
Well, the State Board of Elections says there's no indication that Ian Roberts ever voted in Maryland. We are continuing to press state election officials, asking what checks are in place to make sure only eligible voters are registered and what changes will be made moving forward. But so far, those are questions we've yet to get answers to.
WBAL News Radio.
Turning up the radio Tuesday morning.
If this guy is able to get it, who else is on the roll? Right.
The questions around Ian Roberts are only escalating. He's the former Iowa superintendent who also used to be a principal in Baltimore City. He was arrested by ICE, accused of being in the country illegally. Records suggest he may have been registered to vote here in Maryland, despite his immigration issues and the fact he hasn't lived in the state for years.
He apparently never did vote, but he was registered to vote. And he had an active voter registration in Maryland as of last week. No voting history is what the Maryland Elections Department says, State Board of Elections says. And they say that he may have been unintentionally registered to vote.
Which is why state lawmakers are still demanding answers.
But we've continued to push.
Republican Ryan Araki says in the last week they've gotten few answers from the State Board of Elections as to how Roberts got registered.
We've had lots of communication with the MVA. We believe that it is likely where his registration occurred. Maryland has a motor voter law that allows folks when they go to get a driver's license to register to vote. Well, Maryland's one of the few states in the country that allows illegal immigrants to also get a driver's license.
Last week, State Senator Jason Gallion sent a letter to the State Board of Elections pressing for answers about how existing verification processes failed, why Roberts wasn't identified sooner, and what corrective steps will be taken in the future. But so far, they haven't gotten any response. In a statement saying the lack of communication and transparency is disappointing. It's clear the voter rolls require a full and comprehensive audit.
But the simple fact that he registered to vote in and of itself is a huge problem. So there needs to be more checks in place. They also need to cooperate with the Department of Justice.
This also comes as the DOJ is requesting Maryland's voter registration data following an audit finding over 2,000 individuals who may have died and hundreds of duplicate registrations on the voter rolls. So far, the state has yet to hand over the data.
We want fair, safe, and secure elections. This crosses party lines. So I think it just would behoove the State Board of Elections to reassure the public that this is actually the case and comply with the DOJ orders.
Well, the State Board of Elections put out a lengthy statement last week saying they don't want to disenfranchise voters by improperly removing them from the voter rolls. They say a record can't be canceled unless a voter requests it or they get information from other verifiable sources, like registration reports or election officials in other states. Online, the State Board of Elections says they receive information daily on individuals who are registered in other states.
But this has happened once. I don't think it's so crazy that it couldn't happen again. And if that's the case, all we're saying is we just want to find out, which I think is very reasonable.
Back in 2016, Project Baltimore's Chris Pabst, who was working in D.C. at the time, did an investigation uncovering gaps in the system.
He's registered to vote in 3 states where he's lived: Virginia, Pennsylvania, and Maryland.
I easily could have just voted twice.
So we sent a list of questions to the State Board of Elections, asking how it's possible someone could be on the voter rolls for years, even after leaving the state. Are any periodic checks or audits done to identify people who no longer meet the requirements to vote? Will any corrective measures be put in place moving forward, and will any checks of the voter rolls be performed? And will you comply with the DOJ request?
I would hope that they would do something there to double check on this. I mean, the State Board of Elections does fall under the Moore administration, so ultimately this is, requires governor oversight.
So far, the State Board of Elections has not responded to our questions. Now, Republicans tell me they also have plans to introduce laws or legislation next session related to voter ID laws, something many Republicans have been pushing for years. Live in Baltimore, Jessica Babb, Fox 45 News.
I'm Mary Bubala. Thank you for watching. Here's another video for you to watch. Also take some time to subscribe to our YouTube channel.